All right, everyone. Hello and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller. I'm one of the yoga instructors here for Yoga for Caregivers. This is our weekly stretch session where we focus on getting into our bodies, stretching ourselves out, getting us ready for the rest of our day and the rest of our week. So, as we move through practice today, keep in mind your boundaries. Notice where are you ready to extend into postures? Where do you need to modify and come down to the mat? Or perhaps find a center posture. Also, keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Your legs can be crossed or they can be straight out in front of you. We're going to wiggle back and forth, rooting into the sits bones, and then we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's inhale as we bring the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. Inhale, shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, come back and down. Bring your hands into a comfortable position, whether on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You're welcome to gently close the eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply find an unmoving point and soften your gaze here today. This year, inspiration for our classes is drawn from the Native American medicine wheel based on Sun Bear's vision. The medicine wheel teaches us about movement and change and offers us insight that will help us learn and grow. As we prepare to leave the sturgeon phase of the year, now is the time to learn about drawing on your inner strength in order to face fears with confidence. Despite all of the hard work we've already done, there are going to be moments when life trips us up. Often these moments shake our confidence and cause us to question our abilities. Now is not the time for doubt. You're stronger than you know, and you can face any challenge confidently. Today, as you move through practice, dive into the well of your inner strength. Allow it to carry you through the practice and off the mats into your daily life. Settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling your belly, lungs, chest with air. And then slowly exhaling that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, fill your belly, lungs, and chest with air. Before slowly exhaling that breath back out. Take another deep inhale. Feel your belly expanding outward like a big balloon. And then exhale, draw the belly button in toward the spine. Inhale as you feel your collarbone expand and your torso expand. And then exhale as you feel the shoulders release down and away from the ears. Inhaling air in your nose, down your throat, filling your lungs. And then exhale, squeeze the air out of the lungs as you feel it move up the throat and out your nose. Continue to breathe deeply, inhaling and exhaling with intention, really noticing the movement of air here. Now, if your mind gets distracted, if it wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay. Simply notice the moment that you've gone away and then come back to your breath, back to your inhales and exhales. If it feels right for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra here to help your mind stay grounded and focus on your breath. Inhale, I am. Exhale, strong. Inhale, I am. Exhale, strong. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. Just take a deep breath here, setting an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale here. Feel the intention with heart and mind. And then exhale the breath out. Set the intention off to the side, and we will return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. If you started to slouch over, finding that good alignment again, sitting up nice and tall here, rooting into the sits bones. Hands come to the knees. We'll inhale. Sweep that right hand up overhead. Bend the elbow. Bring the hand to the small of the back. Take that left hand, grasp that elbow, draw it toward the midline here, coming into this nice arm stretch. So sitting up nice and tall, rooting into the sits bones. We're feeling the pull through the tricep, down into the armpit, down into the top of the ribs, and through that shoulder blade area. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And then inhale, gently release, bring the hands back down to the knees here. Good. Inhale, sweep that left arm tall, bend at the elbow, bring the hand to the small of the back. And then grab that elbow with the right hand, bringing that arm toward the midline. Nice shoulder stretch, arm stretch, opposite side. So again, getting that stretch through the tricep, down into the armpit, dorsal muscle, top of the ribs, into that shoulder blade. Still sitting up nice and tall, core gently engaged so we're not arching out the back. Breathing. And then inhale, we gently release, hands come down to the knees. Nice work. We're going to come onto the hands and knees. So moving your props out of the way here if you're using them. So the hands are going to come beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips, the tops of the feet will come to the floor. We're going to inhale as we sink our bellies, lift our head and our hips coming into cow. And then exhale, press the mat away, sink the head and the hips coming into cat. Inhale into cow, look up toward the sky, feel the shoulders and hips move toward one another. Exhale into cat, press the mat away, feel the shoulder blades separate, move the chest and the hips toward one another. Last time, inhale into cow, really feel that opening through the spine. Exhale into cat, feel that flexion here. And then inhale back into neutral. Nice job. Step the hands about half a handprint forward. On the next inhale, tuck your toes. On the exhale, lift the hips, come into down dog. Now, this may be the first down dog of your day or week, so go ahead and walk your dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Open up the backs of your legs. Take a nice deep inhale here. Nice deep exhale. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Come into that firm position here. So arms are nice and strong. All 10 pads of your fingers gently grip the mat. Head is between the arms. Chin is slightly tucked. Gaze is toward the toes. Shrug your shoulders down onto your back. Feel your heels reach toward the floor, even if they do not touch. Notice that pull through the back of the legs. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale, we look up between the hands, baby step those feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, nice flat back, shoulders down. Knees are slightly bent, hands on thighs or shins, gaze is toward the floor. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, sink into your forward fold. Tuck the chin, look between the legs. Your arms can hang limp. You can palm the mat, or you can bring pinkies to opposite crooks of the elbows. Knees stay slightly bent wherever you choose. You can sway from side to side if you'd like, but you don't have to if you do not want to. Lovely work here. On the next inhale, come into stillness. And then exhale, release the hands down toward the floor. Inhale, bend the knees, flatten your back, reverse swan dive, your arms sweep wide and up. Exhale right into your heart center. Lovely. Inhale, the arms come tall. Exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, shoulders down. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into your plank. Hands beneath the shoulders, balls the feet beneath the heels. Your one long line from shoulders to heels. Core is engaged. Deep inhale. Exhale, bend at the elbows, lower all the way down to the mat, untuck the toes. Nice work here. Inhale, bring those elbows beneath the shoulders, plant the forearms, lift your gaze and torso coming into space. So the shoulders are shrugged down away from the ears, elbows are drawn in toward the body, palms and forearms are on the mat. Release the glutes, tops of the feet are on the floor, feeling that decompression in the low spine and the stretch through the front of the body. Let's breathe here. Deep inhale. Exhale, let's go ahead and come back down to the mat. Hands beneath shoulders, using knees, pressing straight back into a child's pose here. So elongate the arms, forehead comes down to the floor. Just taking a moment, checking in with your body, noticing what is present. Is there a particular sensation that's calling your attention? And if there is, where in your body does it reside? Really noticing your experience as it is here today, not labeling anything as good or bad, simply noticing what is present. When you're ready, inhale, come on up onto the hands and knees. Good. Now I'm going to angle here slightly. If you have props, you might want to grab them at this point, bring them to either side of your mat. And we're going to step our right foot forward here, grab those props, and then inhale up into center. So I'm using blocks and I'm going to bring them into my hands on the high side here. So we want to come onto our left knee and then extend our right foot out so we can see the shin from this position, okay? We're going to take a deep inhale as we lengthen through the spine, and then exhale as we sink down into a low lunge. Plop those blocks down onto the mat right beneath the shoulders here. Press into them as much as you'd like here. It's going to support that opening and help you sink in a controlled way. We want the knee in line with the ankle here, so we're really protecting that knee joint. And then we're feeling an opening in that left hip flexor. Let's take a couple deep breaths here together. On the next inhale, shift your weight onto the back knee, straighten the front leg, flex the front foot. Step those blocks back maybe half a step here. Inhale as you lengthen through the spine and flatten your back, and then exhale as you hinge at the hips and then lean forward over that front leg, coming into dragon. So using these blocks for support as you need, pressing into them, adjusting them if you want them on a different height. Notice what feels right for you here. Let's breathe. Keeping those toes flexing in is going to keep that stretch nice and deep through the back of the leg. And while it may not feel great right in this moment, it will feel good later on. All right, we inhale, come forward onto that front foot, step your props off to the side, plant your hands on the mat. Bring your foot to the left side of your mat and drop your knee to the right side of your mat. So as I come into this position, notice I'm pretty lifted in my hips. So I tuck my back toes, lift that leg, and slide it toward the back of the mat so I can sink my hips further down. As you come into this position, we don't want to roll onto our right side, but instead we want to shift our left hip flexor toward the mat. So notice how I'm moving that down toward the mat. That lifts my right hip up slightly and it deepens the stretch in that right hip. Now you can stay on the hands. You can bring blocks beneath the hands for support. You can also come down onto a block or come straight down onto your forearms on the mat. Different options here. Notice what's right for you. Just a couple deep breaths here. Nice work. When you're ready, inhale, come on up, move your props out of the way. Tuck the back toes, lift the back leg. Step that left knee forward here, and then slide that right knee back. Maybe wiggle the hips from side to side, just a little release here. And then coming on to the opposite side. So step that left foot forward, grab those blocks, come up into neutral. Again, we want the blocks starting on the high side, but if you already know where you want to go, make those adjustments here. So we're on our right knee. Our left leg is extended straight out in front of us here, or not straight out, but almost straight out in front of us. When we're ready on the exhale, sink the hips down toward the floor, coming into that low lunge, and then plop those blocks down and then press into them for support. So you're not going deeper than the body is ready today. You want to hit an edge, but it doesn't need to be the most intense edge that you've ever experienced in your whole entire life. Okay. So knee is in line with ankle here. And we're really feeling that opening in the right hip flexor this time. Let's take a couple deep breaths together. All right. Press into those blocks, shift your weight onto the back knee, straighten the front leg, maybe step those blocks about half a step back here. We're going to inhale as we lengthen through the spine, exhale as you hinge at the hips and lean forward with the heart center, coming into that dragon pose opposite side. So keep pulling those toes in, pressing forward with the heart center, and again, adjusting blocks as you need. You've got 3 different heights. You can get rid of them all together, but really focusing on the stretch of the back side of that left leg. Breathing. Nice work. We inhale, come forward onto that front foot. Drop those blocks down, hands to the mat here. Move your foot to the right side of the mat. Drop that knee down to the inside of the left wrist here. You may need to slide your right knee toward the back of the mat. And again, we're not rolling out, but instead we're dropping that right hip flexor down to the floor. You can either sit up nice and tall here. You can use those blocks once again to come down onto the forearms, or you can just come straight down onto the mat. A nice deep stretch through the left hip here. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. All right, we inhale, come on up onto the hands, move your props out of the way, tuck the back toes, lift the back leg, step that right knee forward, and then extend that left knee back. As you come into table, maybe wiggle those hips from side to side, just a little release here. Good. And then when you're ready, come onto the mat. We're going to come down onto our back. So if you need a towel off or grab a drink of water, now is the moment. We won't sit up for the rest of our practice. So coming down onto your back, tuck the knees into the chest for a moment. Wrap your arms around your legs. Maybe give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe rock from side to side, a little low back massage. It's up to you. And then when you feel ready, coming into stillness, let's drop the soles of the feet down to the floor and prepare for final relaxation. So if you want, you can remain right here. This is a great option, and it's good for the low back if you're feeling tension there. Option is to allow the knees to fall wide, soles of the feet come together, recline bound angle. You could extend one leg and keep the opposite foot in for fallen tree. You can extend both legs for traditional final relaxation. Just finding a position for your hands that feels best for you. It's really going to depend on your anatomy and what you need for today. If you'd like, you can also roll onto your side. You can also roll on your belly or just come back into a seated position if you prefer. Really, it's whatever you prefer. This is your final relaxation posture. So I invite you to make it so. And as you settle in, taking just a few moments here, feel that surface beneath the body, and then tune into the breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow your breath is moving, how deep or shallow. Noticing the quality of each breath on your inhales, quality of each breath on your exhales. Feeling into the gentle rise and fall of your belly, gentle rise and fall of your chest. Just really noticing air as it moves in and out of the nose, up and down the throat. And if the mind wanders off, remember, it happens. The moment you've noticed you've gone away, see if you can come back to the breath, back to focusing on the inhales and the exhales. Now, if it feels right for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra here, reincorporating the one we used at the beginning of practice, if you'd like. Inhale, I am. Exhale, strong. Inhale, I am. Exhale, strong. Remaining here with your breath, whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know that I'm watching the time and I respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest right here with your breath. Our breath is the bridge connecting our body and our mind. Returning to our breathing and following it all the way through from the beginning to the end with awareness brings body and mind back together and reminds us of the miracle of the present moment. Awareness of our in breath and our out breath calms us down and brings peace back to our body. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air, before slowly exhaling your breath back out. Taking another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Move arms and legs, gently waking your body up. When it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice. Answer the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a deep inhale here as you make your way on up into a seated position, and we close out our practice together today. So finding our comfortable seat, rooting into the sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. We inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, in your lap or at heart center, closing the eyes if you'd like. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth, for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here for this weekly stretch session with Yoga for Caregivers. Again, my name is Alexis Miller, and I am here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars, set your alarms. You can find Yoga for Caregivers on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So make sure to check us out in all of those places, and don't forget to tell your friends. Thank you so much for joining me here, and I look forward to practicing with you next time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. See you next time. Bye.